What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you guys an early look at the upcoming Air Jordan 9 Retro in this cool gray colorway. This cool gray colorway, though it's not an OG colorway of the Air Jordan 9, I'd say that it's probably one of the most beloved colorways of this silhouette. Originally released back in 2002, coinciding with Michael Jordan's run as a Washington Wizard, it was subsequently retroed for the first time in 2012, and then 13 years later, they're coming back once again. So these drop on March 15th, and I believe the retail price for this shoe should be $210 US, or it's $270 here in Canada. The official colorway for this shoe is medium gray, cool gray, and white, and these will be available at most Air Jordan retailers, including the Closet Inc. here in Canada. The Closet Inc. is my go-to shop for Nikes and Air Jordan Retros. They're independently owned and operated, based right here in Southern Ontario in Canada. So for all my Canadian viewers out there, now's the time if you want to support Canadian retailers. I've linked their socials, their website, all that stuff down below, so check them out for their release details and be sure to tell them that you heard about them through me. So before we take a look at the shoes, here's a quick look at the packaging. So this comes in a two-tone gray colored cardboard box. So the top lid, this is a slightly lighter shade of gray, and we have Air Jordan branding on the top in white and red. Whereas the bottom half of the box is done in a darker shade of gray, mimicking the two shades of gray found on the shoe itself. So the Air Jordan 9 is a model that dropped back in '93-'94. And given that it coincided with Michael Jordan's first retirement from the NBA, it's not really that big of a surprise that the Air Jordan 9 isn't the most popular model when it comes to the older Air Jordan silhouettes. However, like I mentioned from the start, the cool gray 9s have been always pretty popular, and though I never owned a pair of the 2002s, from what I've read and from what I've seen online, this 2025 Retro does a pretty good job in recreating that OG look. So the majority of the upper of this shoe, this is crafted out of the gray colored nubuck, and while it is a genuine nubuck from what I can see, I wasn't overly impressed with the quality. It has a bit of a scratchy feel to the touch, and it doesn't really feel like it's premium whatsoever. Surrounding the front toe cap, we have a genuine gray colored patent leather, and this is a darker shade of gray compared to the upper, and you'll see how the shiny patent leather runs along the entire bottom of the shoe, serving as a mudguard. As for the eyelets, we have these gray colored TPU eyelets, which offer a quick and speedy lace-up system, and it's always reminded me of like a hiking boot. Underneath this, covering the remainder of the upper, we have more of that gray colored nubuck, and we have these panels which are denoted by these debossed areas, along with the stitching around the edges. Above this, covering the top eyelet, we have more of that gray colored patent leather, and then on the heel of the shoe, first of all, we have this large pull tab, which helps to get your foot in and out of the shoe a bit easier. This is connected to this Air Jordan Globe branding, and then underneath this, we have the number 23 embroidered in white. As far as the laces go, so this pair only comes with one lace option, and it's a rope style lace in white, which again gives off more of that hiking shoe or trail shoe vibe. Underneath this, the tongue is primarily covered in a gray colored mesh. We have the center strip running down the center, and then the top of the tongue feels almost like a neoprene-like material, and we have this rectangular strip with Air Jordan branding done in this dark gray color. So the interior of the Jordan 9, this is a one-piece booty-like fit. So you'll see how the tongue is done in this one piece, and it circles around the heel, really cradling your foot and giving you a lot of support. And then the inner side walls of the shoe, this is covered in a gray colored cloth-like liner. So the upper of the Jordan 9, it sits atop this white colored polyurethane foam midsole, and encased within this midsole but not visible to the eye, we have Nike Air technology both underneath the forefoot as well as underneath the heel. On the forefoot, you'll see how the foam wraps up onto the upper of the shoe a little bit, almost like teeth, whereas on the heel, a portion of the rubber covers the sides, giving you some additional containment, and we also have a white colored Jumpman logo with both the left and right feet facing forward towards the toes. Turning the shoe over to the bottom, so we have a thin, semi-translucent gray colored rubber. So the outsole pattern, this is probably my favorite part about the Jordan 9, because this shoe pays homage to the globalization of basketball. We have a bunch of different languages, we have a globe depicted here as well. So I've always thought that the Jordan 9 outsole is really fun. And then on the bottom, we have the number 23, along with this large white colored Jumpman logo as well. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about how these fit, so in my case, I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. I got these in a size 10 and they fit me, but they're a little bit narrow in the front toe box. So I feel like if you have a narrow or a normal width foot, you can go true to size in the Jordan 9, but if you have a wider foot, you'd probably be better off going up a half size. So for me, I can feel a little bit of chafing around this pinky toe area. I don't know if I'd want to go up half a size. It might be just a matter of breaking in the shoe. But if you don't want to risk it, or if you just have a really wide foot, then you'd probably be safer going up a half size. Moving on to the comfort, so the Jordan 9, unfortunately, it really feels pretty stiff, firm, and uncomfortable underfoot. I'm sure though over time, the more you wear them, the more you break them in, they will feel more comfortable, but just from my initial impression of wearing these, it just feels pretty uncomfortable. So I'd much prefer earlier models like the Jordan 3, Jordan 5, Jordan 7. I find those are all much more comfortable than these. Finally, in terms of the quality and craftsmanship, so first off, the material quality was really nothing special. The nubuck that they used really didn't impress me. Like I mentioned earlier, it just has a very synthetic feel to it, even though it is technically, from what I can see, a genuine leather. It was a nice surprise to see that they utilized genuine patent leather on the shoe though, so that I have to give kudos to them for. And the overall build of the shoe, it wasn't that bad. There weren't any major flaws that I could see, so it pretty much feels like a typical mass-produced Air Jordan release. Nothing amazing, but not the worst either. So with all of that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet. I'll lace them up and I'll show you guys how these look. The Jordan 9 unfortunately just isn't one of the most popular Jordan silhouettes when it comes to the models that he actually wore. That could be a good thing for those that are big fans of this model. I'd be very surprised if the Cool Grey 9s were a difficult shoe to obtain, but nowadays the market seems to be crazy for Jordans. Models like the Metallic 5s or the Flu Game or Bred 12s, those fetching for a decent amount on the secondary market honestly has really floored and surprised me. So crazier things have happened. If you really want these, I don't know if Jordan Brand is making these limited, so I just put in the work to guarantee you a pair because I just don't know how these will go on the release day. But anyways, let me know your thoughts down below. Are you fans of the Jordan 9 and this cool gray color specifically? Or are you like me in the sense that I've always felt like the Jordan 9 almost resembles like a hiking boot or like a snow boot? It's just so clunky and the silhouette just has never really been my favorite. Whether it's OG colorways or non-OG colorways, I don't know, there's just something about the look of this model, I've just never really loved it. But regardless, thank you so much for watching. As usual, if you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can check out my social media accounts. I'll link all of those down below as well. And again, for those interested in buying these and you're from Canada, check out The Closet Inc. Links are down below. So thank you everyone for watching. Appreciate your continued love and support, and I'll catch all of you in my next review.